What's going on, everyone? Hold on. Let me get rid of this right here. I guess we ain't going live on old Winsty's page there. But Scrap a Tap Live episode. I don't really know which fucking episode number it is because if the live episodes don't get a lot of views, I delete them and I chop up the episodes. So there we go. You know what I mean? So you know, what I'm gonna do first off, right? The entire time I talk about this Deontay Wilder fight, I want to just go ahead and throw this face off in the corner. All right. Just just to give you guys an idea of how long this face off was going on for, right? So I'm gonna leave it rocking there. Let's talk about the press conference first of all. My reaction to the press conference was a lot of stuff I didn't expect. You know, with all the talking Deontay Wilder did about all the conspiracies, okay? And I'm a big Deontay Wilder fan. In no way, shape, or form am I some Deontay Wilder hater. I was going for him in both fights. But with all the shit he talked on Instagram and social media and interviews about all the conspiracies, from the gloves to the Tyson Fury is part of a cult called Blacks Can't Fight. All right. some like old gypsy cult or some shit, to his water was spiked, to this, to that. And then at the press conference, he didn't have much to say. Now, if he keeps up this whole shtick during the entire press conference, when they do 3-4 press conferences as they do the tour, I'll respect it. Because what he said was, talking is done. The time for talking is done. It's time to get back in the ring and handle that. So if he sticks to it and doesn't speak at all until the fight, I'm going to respect that. But if he starts running his mouth in the next press conference, then you know what? You just wasted a whole press conference for nothing. You could have done some promotion. You could have got more eyes on it. The argument could be made that him also being silent gets eyes on it. Okay? But it's a little funny to have Malik sitting there talking for him, answering every question, especially, when we see videos like this, all right, with Malik.
We won! We won!
That ass. What the hell's going on? Pause.
We won!
Pause, Deontay. What are you doing, bro? You shaking it for Malik while he's holding your hand? I don't know, bro. I don't know about that. I'm glad to see you having fun. See, that's good. That's good. Look at you're having fun. That's a beautiful thing, right? We can't sit there and look at that like it's a bad thing. Come on, bro. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. I'm going to hold your hand and shake your ass. Malik Scott, drop it fast. What is going on over here, man? Yo, Deontay, man. This shit is a pause, bro. That's a big no Bruno. Look at this. Hold on. Look. You can't tell me. Look at this. Look at these two. Look at these two. You can't tell me. And then it looks bad too, right? Because then you got the press conference and Malik is talking for Deontay, like they in a relationship. I'm starting to get a little worried about you over there. Wilder, man. You're wilding out a little bit, buddy. You over here. Look at this. Let's go back to the twerk video. You ready? Hold on. Let's go. Yeah, work for Malik. Work for Malik. Hey, putting work for Malik. What's going on here, Deontay? Yo, man. I don't know, man. This shit look real funny style. Look at this. For those tapped in, we got 2 tapped in right now. Hold on. I just wanted to see look at all the training that Deontay's getting in, right? Look at the training. my man's getting in his training, shaking his ass with his trainer. So that's the problem, right? With this whole press conference thing. All jokes aside, obviously, I'm just roasting. I'm just having fun, right? But it just looks funny, man. You ain't going to say a word. You're going to have this dude talk for you. And then at the same time, you're going to be in the ring over here doing slow dances with him. I don't know what the hell you're doing once these videos are done being made, but it's a little scary. Now, aside from that, obviously, Deontay's been looking great. As far as his movement, and I ain't talking about his ass movement, as far as his punches, he's looking slick, But the question is, will he be able to do that against Fury? That's the question. And Fury referenced that in the press conference, okay? Because he basically said, like, yeah, you could do all the training And you could do as much of that as you want. But at the end of the day, it's me and you in there, right? You know, you can train someone to be slick. You can train someone to throw punches. But when it comes down to it, when you have a guy with as many knockouts as Deontay Wilder has, can he be slick? Can he box? The first time he gets punched in his face by Tyson Fury and really feels it again, is he going to stay calm? Is he going to box, or is he going to start trying to throw windmills? Is he going to start trying to throw bombs? You know, and that's a good question, and a question that we're going to have answered in a little under a month, or a little over a month, when that fight takes place. But you know, more than anything, let's talk about my man Tyson Fury. Ultimate petty. You want to talk about petty? This is petty championships right here, right? This is the petty championships, but you got to respect it.
I'd like to thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. I'd like to thank my amazing team.
Watch.
Afternoon, everybody. Morning. I don't know what time it is. Afternoon. Firstly, I'd like to say congratulations to Deontay Wilder for finding his Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Before the last fight, he was comparing gods, and we know my God won, so congratulations.
Yo, you want to talk about the king of petty? You got to respect it, though. You know, one thing about Fury, man. You know, some people might not like his brashness. Some people might not like his personality, but the man knows how to sell a fight. The man knows how to talk shit, and the man knows how to fight, you know? And if Deontay Wilder goes in there in this next fight and he washes out Tyson Fury, maybe we start looking at some of the conspiracy things and say, maybe, I don't know, was there something funny with the gloves? You know, if all of a sudden it's a brand new, different fight. But then we also might have to turn around and say, do we want to give credit to conspiracies, or do we want to give credit to adjustments and give credit to what Malik Scott might have did to help Deontay? You know, so as far as that, press conference was wild. Deontay didn't say anything except his opening remarks where he, you know, tried to do a little poem, talk about bloodshed, nothing left to be said, or whatever he was talking about, you know. But I got to see what Deontay does in the ring. You know, I'm a big Deontay Wilder fan, but he's got to prove. I'm a big Deontay Wilder fan, but he's got to prove something to me again. He's got to show me that he has the heart, if he faces adversity, to fight through it, okay? I don't know what happened in that second fight. I have no idea. I'm hoping he just had a bad night and he could get everything back on track and he cuts out the conspiracy bullshit and just gets back to boxing, because I want to root for him in his third fight. But it's going to be hard to root for him in his third fight if he keeps being a fucking weirdo. You know what I mean? Point blank, because he's on some weirdo shit. I don't know who's tapped in right now, but I just got done talking about the Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder press conference. It was a wild-ass press conference. I suggest you watch it. Also, go back, watch this, you know, live from the beginning once I post it up, or if you want to go back now, and then you can catch up. But it was a wild press conference. You know, then Dillian White, he started talking some shit after the fight. Is this what I'm looking for here? No, that we'll get into that in a minute. Where's my man Dillian White? Anyway, I can't find the exact link right here. Here we go. So Dillian White got online on Twitter. They started going back and forth. Let's hope for Deontay's sake that he don't have to fight Dillian White anytime soon. Because if he finds himself in a fight with Dillian White anytime soon, that means he lost to Tyson Fury. You know, he's not going to be fighting Dillian White unless he has to. So let's hope these two are just talking their shit. You know, Dillian White talking his shit. Deontay Wilder saying you're the scum beneath my toes and all this wild shit. You know, if Wilder is what he was in the past, he runs through Dillian White, in my opinion. You know, Dillian White, he's popped dirty a couple times. He's had some good fights, looked good in some good fights. You know, he abused Povetkin in the last fight. I'll give him that. But Povetkin's also washed up or close to washed up. So, you know, still a little impressive. Nonetheless, what he did to Povetkin, can't take too much away from him with that. But it's definitely not a fight that I have any interest in seeing, to be honest with you, you know. So kind of wild, man. You know, the stare down went down for 6 minutes, one of the longest stare downs I ever seen. One thing I will say, even though Deontay was being weird and not talking and all the funny shit, when it came down to the stare down, He looked like he was ready. You know, he did. He looked like he was ready. Hold on, we fuzzing out. All right, hold on, let's get back. All right, we back on focus. So that's what I will say about the stare down. He was weird during the whole press conference, but when it came down to the stare down, put his headphones up, took his glasses off. He looked serious in the stare down. I will give him that. He didn't look scared. He didn't look off balance. You know, mentally, he looked like he was ready. And Tyson Fury even seemed like he was acknowledging it. Like, okay. You know what I mean? So, you know, let's see what happens, man. You know, let's pray. Let's pray that this fight is what it could be, right? Because let's say, imagine Wilder wins this fight. Imagine he wins this fight. You know, we're getting number 4 then. We're getting number 4 then. That's one of the best rivalries in the history of boxing if Wilder can happen to win this fight. You know what I mean? But we got to see what happens. I don't really know if that's something that's going to happen. Tyson Fury was also talking shit to Malik Scott. They sparred back in the day. He busted Malik Scott's eardrum as well. So he was cracking jokes and he was like, isn't it kind of funny that I busted both of these guys' eardrums, trainer and fighter. Facts, kind of funny facts. And then he got on his psycho shit. He's like, I'm gonna go after that eardrum next time. And you know, you see that look in Tyson Fury's eyes, like he's a real fighter at the end of the day. So you know, whoever's tuning in right now, you can take it back. I just got done talking about Wilder Fury press conference. Touched on the Dillian White Fury. You know, them talking some shit. Overall, we got a nice weekend of boxing. Unfortunately, the Teofimo Lopez fight was postponed at the very least until August 14th, I believe. He tested positive for COVID. It's kind of crazy, though, because I seen Teofimo do tons of interviews with mask on, Bane mask. He got personalized mask, all this crazy shit. So for him to get it's a little wild, but he is in the public a lot. So, you know, and plus they get tested all the time. So him getting it doesn't mean sickness. It just means he tested positive. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure, as far as I know at the moment, I think he's been asymptomatic for the most part. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully he's all right. There's no effects on his career or anything like that. But the good thing about the Teofimo fight being canceled, you can say it's a good thing maybe, is Vito Belfor was supposed to fight, you know, the MMA star was supposed to fight on that card, but now it looks like we're going to get, instead of George St. Pierre versus Oscar De La Hoya, we're going to get Oscar De La Hoya versus Vito Belfor in September. So, you know, it's not one of the greatest MMA fighters, maybe the best ever, versus one of the best boxers of his era, if not top 10 ever, top 5 welterweights could be argued, Oscar De La Hoya. But still, Vitor Belfort versus De La Hoya, interesting. Still an interesting fight because Belfort can strike. He can't use his kicks, but he can strike. He got power. And I doubt they're going to be doing testing for this. And we all know when Vito Belfort had the best moments in his career, that man was juiced to the gills. You know what I mean? Vito Belfort was pumped up with every animal's tranquilizer you could ever imagine and all sorts of shit. HGH, fucking STD, TRT, you name that shit. You know what I mean? So that might make the De La Hoya fight with him a little more interesting because if he could be juiced up, Belfort, it makes him a little more of a threat. I mean, obviously, you can't say enough about Oscar De La Hoya. You see the man's track list. He fought everybody in boxing. Top of his game. He passed the pay-per-view torch to Mayweather after they fought. He passed the pay-per-view torch to Manny Pacquiao after they fought. There's no denying Oscar De La Hoya's impact on boxing. There's also no denying that he likes to wear pumps and sniff coke, and that's okay, bro. Do what you do. You can't be mad at De La Hoya for that. Let people live their lives, you know what I mean? A lot of weirdos out here. And the same thing with Belfort, you know what I mean? Guy, you know, not on the level of De La Hoya when it comes to his accomplishments in MMA, but still a very experienced mixed martial artist, fought some of the best names MMA has ever seen, beat some of them, lost some of them. So that's an interesting fight, Vitor Belfort versus De La Hoya. So let's see what what happens with that. I think it's September 11th. I think I might be fighting on 9/11. I could be wrong about that just because I'm from New York and it's popping in my head. But it's going to be Oscar De La Hoya versus Vitor Belfort in an exhibition match, September 11th, I believe. Like I said, I do not think they're going to be doing much drug testing. So these dudes are probably going to both come in there with Mexican cheeseburgers filled with all sorts of goodies and extras and, you know, TRT therapy, and they're going to come in there ready. So, you know, you might see one of them take the other's head off. So that'll be interesting. Maybe we'll see. You know what I mean? But a lot of other great boxing this weekend. Okay. We got Jermall Charlo going against Montiel. Now, listen, this is obviously a fight Jermall Charlo should win. You know, he should bust ass. The dude wants a big fight. He's been looking for a big fight for a long time. He has his best win in his last fight against Derevchenko. That was a, you know, hard fight. He won the fight. He started, Sergey started putting some rounds away at the end, but that was Charlo's best win, if you ask me. You know, that's a guy that Danny Jacobs had a hard time with. That's a guy that Triple G had a hard time with. So, you know, Charlo deserves a big fight. He really does. I don't know if PBC is mismanaging him or, you know, I don't know what the fuck is going on. I think he wants the fights, but, you know, he needs to get a big name. He deserves a big name. I don't even know what the fuck is up with this fight. Now, Montiel isn't a straight bum, you know. He knocked out James Kirkland, but so at this point, everyone's knocked out James Kirkland. He beat Hugo Santino. That's a whatever win. He got knocked out by Mungia, you know. But the thing about that makes Montiel a little interesting is in 22 wins, he has 22 knockouts. You know, so if we're being honest, you know, it's always interesting when you see that. A guy with 22 wins and 22 knockouts, even if he got 4 losses, you know, if he happens to land that right shot, he could put anybody to sleep. You know what I mean? So we'll see. You know, Charlo obviously should get the job done, should get him out of there with relative ease, but no guarantees. That's what makes fight sports so amazing. There's no guarantees. And a guy with 22 wins, 22 knockouts when he does win, you never know. You know what I'm saying? Now, this is a pretty interesting fight because we get a little more of a gauge on Jaime Munguia. Munguia is a power-punching fucking monster, okay? I always love watching this dude fight. Pretty much everyone he's ever fight, he's ran through, except, what's dude's name? Hogan. Dennis Hogan. You're going to see it pop up here right there. Bang. Dennis Hogan. That was his closest fight. Everyone else he ran through. He hasn't fought great competition yet, you know, but the guy he's fighting now is the guy that Triple G beat in his last fight, right? So we get to see a little gauge now. We get to see Triple G and Mungia, what they do against this kid. As we know, Triple G fucking abused him. Triple G looked arguably the best he's ever looked in that fight. You know, people probably haven't been watching him as much, the casuals, but Triple G looked fucking great in that fight. But, you know, who is this kid? You know, foreign guy. I think he's from Poland. You know, who is he? We get to see a little more who he is. Is he a guy that ever belonged fighting to Triple G? Or is he a guy that is better than we thought he was? You know, just looked bad against Triple G. And maybe Mungia isn't exactly who we think he is. So we get to see an equal gauge on that. So that's an interesting fight. Mungia versus Polish dude. I can't remember his name if it's not in front of me, and I butcher foreign names anyway. But that's an interesting fight. I would definitely check that fight out this weekend if you can. That's a good one. Big boxing, big weekend for boxing. All right. And then Naoya Inoue. This dude is a beast. Obviously, his best win came against Nonito Donaire. That was a close fight. Donaire started coming on. As you can see, the scores 116, 111, 114, 113. It was close. It was a close fight. I probably had it like a 7-5, 8-4, but it was a close 7-5 if you said 7-5. He's a light division fighter, so he slept on a little bit in a way, right? But the kid is a fucking monster. Power puncher, 17 knockouts and 20 wins. You know, yeah, it's the lighter divisions, but the lighter divisions, you know you're going to see volume punching. You don't always see power punching. That's why Donaire was such a success. That's why Chocolatito was able to become a star, because even though they're lighter divisions, you're not only getting the volume, you're getting the volume and you're getting the power. And with Inoue, that's what you're getting. Let me just double check. I haven't been telling you guys the fight times, but I'm sure you can figure them out if it comes down to it. This fight, I believe, is the main fight that is on like a regular network. This is on ESPN. Okay, so this fight is on ESPN. So if you're not looking to pay anything this weekend, no subscriptions, that's the one to go with. I think, yeah. Yeah, because now the UFC is on ESPN and ESPN Plus. That whole card might be on regular ESPN. But as far as boxing, Inoue, watch him. He's a monster. Definitely will not be disappointed. I've loved every one of his fights that I've watched. I would definitely keep your eyes open for that fight and watch it if you can. All right. And then we got the circus event of the weekend. The circus event of this weekend is going to be Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. versus Anderson Silva. Now, it's a little bit interesting, right? Because you got Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., who is not a shitty boxer, but was way below, the expectations that you would have for him, with his father being who he is. But he's not terrible. The main problem with Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. has been more dedication to partying than to boxing. But he's big, he's strong, he can box, he could dirty box on the inside, he could box off the jab, and Anderson Silva, he's in the conversation for GOATs when it comes to mixed martial arts. So it's interesting, and he's a striker. Now, the argument could be made that he's better with his legs than he is with his hands, but at the end of the day, you still got a striker in there with him, and you got a striker in there with Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. Who knows? This dude might be fucking smoking weed and sniffing coke and doing all sorts of weird shit. So you never know. Maybe Anderson Silva gets a fucking funky ass win off him. It's very possible. And then the rest of the card, his father, Julio Cesar Chavez Sr. is fighting Hector Camacho Jr. All right, I think Chavez Sr. is in his fucking 60s, I think, at least. And Camacho Jr., I'm not sure exactly what his age is, but this is a circus, you know what I mean? This is the actual circus event of the weekend. But as you all know, if you watch my videos or my clips, I love the circus. I don't give a fuck. I'm a boxing purist. I'm an MMA purist, but I just love fight sports. So give me all the silly shit. I'll take all this fucking silly shit. I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? Give me it all, man. If it's fighting, I want to see it. If you know somebody's fighting in the Walmart parking lot tomorrow, tell me where the fuck the Walmart is. I'll come. I'll bring my camera. You want me to record it? I'll record it. You want me to roast you while you're fighting? You want to fight after? Hey, fuck it. Let's do it. You know what I mean? Nah, I'm talking shit mostly. But at the end of the day, I just love fight sports. So give me the circus. I'll take it. But overall, man, hell of a fucking weekend when it comes to boxing. Now, obviously, there's no way that I'm not going to touch on the MMA, the UFC. We got a very, very, very nice loaded card going on this weekend. All right, UFC, I think it's Vegas 29, I'm pretty sure. Let me pause that for a second. I want to pull in this other video of Dana White talking because I thought
out of each other to see
all
the craziness that's happened over the last year
was very powerful, but we'll get to that after. And I don't care if you like him or don't like him. You're going to watch that. You know what I mean? Watch that with an open mind, please. So we got a nice UFC card cracking, right? You got the Korean Zombie. He's going up against Dan Ige. Obviously, Korean Zombie, very balanced fighter. He can get you on the ground. He can get you with something funky. He could strike. He could submit you. His last loss fought Brian Ortega. He has wins over Frankie Edgar, Dennis Bermudez, Dustin Poirier. Okay? This guy's no joke. You know what I mean? Then you got Ige, who's another fucking beast. All right. Every fight Ige's in is fucking entertaining. Okay. He's 15-3, 4 KOs, 5 submissions. Once again, extremely balanced fighter. All right. And you could take a look. If you look at his right, he got 1 loss at Calvin Kattar in his second to last fight. Aside from that, he's won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 of his last 8. So that's going to be a banger. That's going to be a fucking great fight. That obviously that's the the main event. Then we got the OG, the legend, Olenek. He's going to be in there in what is going to be his 75th mixed martial artist. Do you understand what I'm saying right now? 75 times he stepped in a ring, an octagon, a cube, a rectangle, whatever the fuck they were fighting in, some Russian shit. They were probably fighting in some crazy shit, maybe a hexagon, you know what I mean? But you're talking about he's going in for the 75th time. All right, this man has 46 submissions. most of the time, if he's gonna get you out of there, that's what you're gonna get out of him, right? But it's also interesting because this other dude that he's fighting is also very good at submissions. You know, he can strike too, but there's a good chance this ends up being, I don't know, because one thing that does happen, anybody who knows MMA knows this, is when both guys are proficient in the ground game, it could lead to a striking match at times. And both of these guys can also strike. You know, you see this guy here, 12-2. He's no joke. The OG Olenek, you gotta love it. You know what I mean? Marlon Cheetah Vera's back in action again. He's coming off, I believe, his loss to Aldo in his last fight. He got the win over Sean O'Malley in the fight before that. Some people could argue the injury got him the win, but I don't agree. He got injured by the fighter doing something to him. If you get kicked in your ankle and your leg stops working because I kicked you in your ankle, it's MMA. It's not cheap. It's what it is. He got a win over Sean O'Malley, period. You know, he had a nice hard fight against Aldo. He's trying to bounce back. He's fighting Davey Grant. I seen Grant fight a couple times. I'm obviously more familiar with Cheeto, but he's on a 3-fight win streak, 2 KOs in a row. I believe that's going to be a nice co-main event. All right. Then we got my man Sung Woo Choi, who I'm surprised I even said that as good as I did. He's 9-3. All right. No submissions. He's going to get you knockouts, if anything. You know, he might get submitted if he loses. He's a little young beast. All right. He's on the come up. He's fighting my man right here. No, I'm sorry. Did I jump too far? No. Julian Erosa, veteran, 33-fight veteran, 3-fight win streak. You know, I believe he beat Sean Woodson, I believe, right? Let me double check that. I think he fought Sean Woodson in his last fight or his next to last fight, Erosa. And I liked Woodson. Woodson's got a funky game. He's nice. All right, I'm pretty sure I know that for a fact, so we don't really got to second guess that too much, you know? No, I'm gonna though. Yeah, see right there, bang, Sean Woodson. Sean Woodson's awkward. You know, that was a nice win for him. So we'll see what he can do. Diego Lima, obviously Douglas Lima's brother. He took one of his first losses in a long time at his natural weight class in Bellator last week or the week before. So we'll see what bro can do. They're in the same weight class. His last fight was a loss against Bilal Muhammad. See if he could bounce back. Obviously, if we're talking fan favorites, there's not many that are more fan favorites than the guy Matt Brown. You know what I mean? If Matt Brown is fighting, there's a good chance someone's getting knocked out. Every fight this dude in, drag him out, wars. Yeah, you see him, you're looking, he's 22-18, but he's fought nothing but the best guys in the sport. He's beat them, he's lost to him, he's lost to him again. You know, you see Cowboy got him, Ellenberger got him, Maya got him, but he got Means, he got Sanchez. You know, he's not a bum. You know what I mean? And every time you put him in there, that man has a chance to win. So that's a fight I'm circling for a possible fight of the night is the the Matt Brown fight against Lima. It's a very interesting fight. All right, as far as the prelims, you got my man Chaos Williams. I believe he lost his last fight. Yes, he did against Michael Pereira. He's looking to get back on track. Pereira dominated him. It was a pretty non-eventful but easy decision, I'd say, for Pereira. Chaos had a couple moments, where he clipped him, but that's why it was a little not as interesting as you wanted it to be because he was playing it safe. Chaos Williams can crack. He's a fucking beast. So that's definitely one you want to keep an eye out as far as on the prelims. Okay, you got my man right here, Matt Semmelsenberger or some shit. I can't say that either. See, it's not only Spanish names and Russian names. If it ain't white as fuck, that is pretty white though. I should probably be able to say that one. But you can see my man right here. He's on a 5-fight winning streak. Okay. Chaos Williams looking to get back on track. He's an absolute fucking beast, So we got a nice UFC card, as well as a lot of boxing this weekend. All right. I went over the schedule. You seen it on the screen. Go look it up. I'll also let you guys know where I look up my information so you can have a streamline to it. But you can see the ladies are setting it off. Lara Propico. Let's get this one right. That's a white name. I should be able to say it. Lara. Nah, that might not be white. Lara Procopio. Okay. She actually beat Molly McCann in her last fight. Meatball's a little beast. She's lost 2 fights in a row. There's no telling exactly where her career is going until she gets in the ring again. But I liked her a lot coming up. So that's a good win as far as I see it for Lara. She's fighting Casey O'Neill. Casey O'Neill, obviously 6-0. She's undefeated. Hasn't fought anybody yet. Lara at least got the win over Meatball. So I would give her the experience advantage. But that's going to be a good fight to set it off for the night. Okay, you got Wellington Thurman. This is my man right here. He is a vet. Let me double check because I don't want to misquote his stats or anything. 16-4. Let's take a look. See what was he specialized in a little bit. Let's get a little look at Wellington. Wellington. Now that's a fight. See that? See that? Now that's a white ass name. Wellington Thurman. I don't even know if he's white, but his name's super white. I can say that really easy, but then we go over to Bruno Silva. Yeah, we could white that up. So that works, But you can see Thurman lost two out of his last three. He's looking to bounce back. All right, the dude Bruno Silva, 19-6. Look at that though. Let's highlight that right there. 19-6 with 16 knockouts. Okay, so if my man Bruno Silva, if he gets his hands on your chin, you're going to sleep. So that's another fight I'm circling. And not to mention, yeah, he got a bunch of losses, but he's on a 4-fight winning streak. All right, 4 knockouts in a row. I'm checking off that one as far as on the prelims as well. So we got a very, very, very action-packed, stacked MMA and boxing weekend. A great fight sports weekend. So once again, let's go over this as we do every time. There are options, all right? I never, ever encourage you to stream. You pay for that fight. But also, look at the bottom of the screen and understand there's always options. Just fight through the pop-ups. You'll get to your fight somehow. And then if you like the fight, pay for the next fucking fight if you can't afford this one. But get these fights, all right? One way or another, get these fights. Some of them are subscription plans that are cheap. Look for a good night of fights you want to watch. Do the free trial and then get rid of it if you want. But at least you can see that weekend's fights, right? All right. Once again, I'm going to remind everyone, please subscribe to this channel. Help me grow. I've dealt with so much banning, so much censorship. It makes it hard to grow my accounts at times. So any support is really, truly appreciated. I would like to get this to the point where we have people in the comment section talking, because that's how we'll get the best out of me, when we really just start talking off the hip, because I don't really plan these shows too much. I clip some things. This is what I do anyway. I'm always paying attention to fight sports all week long, So follow me on my Instagrams, all right? At Whitest Guy is straight comedy. Get me over there. CityDon'tSleep.com will bring you everywhere. At Focus CDS, that's my social commentary, fight sports, hip-hop Instagram page, okay? My YouTube page, you're going to start seeing a little bit of everything from the fight sports to comedy to social commentary. I got a lot of music coming. I'm going to be submitting a whole bunch of tracks on June 21st to be released on July 21st on my birthday. Okay, I'm very young, extremely young. So don't ask my age because I'm just young. You just say, I wonder how old this guy is. Just say young, just super young. You know what I mean? I'm very young. I don't have kids. Not at all, because I'm young. Can't have kids yet, right? I don't have 3. One of them isn't 20. One of my kids is not 20. I'm young. Young. That's it. That's all you got to think about. Young. So follow me on them motherfuckers. Just remember, we do this every Thursday at 8 o'clock. Little by little, I'm hoping we get more people to tap in. But regardless, I take these, I chop them up, I put them on my other social medias. The clips tend to do better than the long form right now. Hopefully, the long form will start performing better over time. But I truly, truly, truly do appreciate any support that anybody gives me, whether it's a like, a comment, a subscribe, a share. It all helps. Thank you. Much love and respect. We're gonna let Malik Scott and Deontay dance us on out. Let's go, you lovebirds. Look at these lovebirds. Oh man, hold on. Come on, Deontay. Shake that ass for Malik, Deontay. Yikes! What's going on out here, man? boxes are twerking and slow dancing now. Look at these two. You cannot tell me that they didn't go out for a candlelit dinner after this. You can't. Look at this. Look at these guys. You're going to tell me they didn't go out for a candlelit dinner after that? You lying to yourself. Much love. Just talking shit. Much respect to all gladiators that step foot in the ring. Much respect to anyone that checks in, okay? Every Thursday, 8 o'clock, as well as immediate reaction videos after the main events on Saturday nights, sometimes on Friday, but always on Saturday. Salute.